When you talk about the Albuquerque Fire Department, or really any fire department, one of the absolute critical things that they do is advanced life support. It's our paramedic units. It's the calls for service that we have in our community for everything from heart attacks, other medical emergencies, and life-threatening situations. And today, Chief Breen and I are announcing a plan for the city of Albuquerque to double, actually more than double, the number of paramedic units able to respond to calls in the Albuquerque Fire Department. And we're going to do this by spending a little bit over $1 million, and we're going to equip the Albuquerque Fire Department with additional life support packs like the one that you see here. Right now, as you can see on this graph, before this expansion, we currently have 20 paramedic response units in the city of Albuquerque. After this expansion, we'll have 42. We're going through the process right now of sending legislation down to City Council. I believe Councilor Harris is going to sponsor that legislation, and we're looking for a co-sponsor on that with Councilor Harris to get these dollars appropriated to be able to go out and purchase these life support packs. This increase in paramedic units will allow us to get to emergencies faster. It will reduce response times, and it will reduce them on a citywide basis, and it will increase survivability, which is so critical for those who are having a medical emergency. Let's say your loved one is having a heart attack. This means we'll be able to get life-saving drugs and medical expertise to their door quicker, and of course, will improve their chances of surviving the traumatic event. This is a very common sense approach, and I really want to say thanks to Chief Breen. We've been working on this for, gosh, over a year, I think now at this point. And we're finally ready to send the legislation to City Hall, or to the City Council. So thank you, Chief Breen, for your leadership here. This change is going to be great for public safety, and it's also going to be a cost-saving initiative for the city. We have the busiest fire department in the state of New Mexico. We respond to over 80,000 calls for emergency incidents in just the last year. And the vast majority, as you can see from this chart here, 79%, almost 80% of those calls are for emergency medical services. This means our boss, the taxpayer, we're saving you money, and we'll be able to save your loved ones with better and faster response times and more paramedic units. So I'm going to bring Chief Breen up to give you some of the details of this, but thanks to all of the leadership. I know we've got Chief Watson's here today. I saw Chief Downey here. All of our leadership group that's been working on this initiative. I want to say thank you to you and your whole team, Chief, because this is good news for everybody in the city of Albuquerque. Chief Breen?
Thank you. Thank you, and thanks for coming today. The expansion of paramedic services is a great endeavor for the Albuquerque Fire Department, and it will better serve the citizens of Albuquerque. This expansion is the greatest organizational change to occur within AFD over the last 25 years that, again, will more than double the number of paramedic response units from 20 to 42. It'll decrease paramedic response times, increase the availability of paramedic services. It will make our emergency response system more efficient, more sustainable by decreasing our operating expenses, and more importantly, it will improve patient outcomes and save more lives. The expansion of paramedic services is based on fire service industry best practices to include the International Association of Firefighters, and AFD will be working with the labor union to determine how best to implement this new program. And over the past 3 years, there's been many reforms within AFD that have directly improved operational effectiveness and firefighter safety. And with the expansion of paramedic services, this is something that we've wanted to do for years. And through being fiscally prudent, we're able to outfit 22 engine companies with paramedic equipment at a cost of nearly $1 million. And so this is a great thing, not only for our department, but for the citizens we serve. And with that, I stand for questions. We covered it all? Excellent.
I gotta give them a chance to sink in. Anybody have any particular questions they'd like to ask? I can tell you that the life pack, once you grab it, Chief, what we're going to be purchasing with $1 million is this life pack. This is a $31,000 piece of life-saving equipment that our firefighters and our paramedics will be able to use as part of this expansion. So this is really the cornerstone of this expansion, and even though it's not an overly large item, This is what we're lacking at the Albuquerque Fire Department to allow us to double these paramedic units. So the process will go something like this. We're sending the legislation to the City Council right now. We have a financing mechanism that we've worked out. The City Council, we hope would have a 9-0 vote on something like this to expand the medical services in our community. We believe we'll have great bipartisan support for this. We will then purchase these units. Once they are ordered and they come in, probably sometime late summer, we'll have these in the hands of our firefighters. We'll do some additional training, and as Chief said, he'll be working with the union to work through some of the logistical issues that will be involved with it. Then we'll get these packs in the hands of our firefighters, and we'll start reducing response times and having better outcomes in our community.
And you as reporters might be interested to know how we're currently, our deployment models today, the paramedics are only on the rescue vehicles. So we're expanding that to every engine company in the city. Again, reducing response times, better patient outcomes, is what it's all about.
Chief, can you just briefly explain what the item does?
This is what we call a life pack. A life pack is one of the tools that...
There, put up there, it's heavy.
A life pack is what a paramedic uses in order to save lives when someone's having a cardiac emergency. And so what this does is it monitors cardiac activity. Through that, the paramedic can make a diagnosis of what is happening with the patient, administer the proper drugs. This unit also can do other medical interventions such as monitoring oxygen levels, taking blood pressure, cardioversions, pacing for that matter, or external pacing. It's a very capable unit, and it's what we currently carry on every rescue. And these will be on every engine company within probably the next 4 to 6 months.